Hey guys, my name is David Gabe. I'm going to be talking to you about the grammar translation method, the method that taught generations, but is it still teaching? I'm going to go over history, philosophy, how it works, some criticisms and benefits, where it is used today. A video clip of some Japanese students giving their feelings on the GTM and some of my reflections. Spoiler alert! Many of you already might know that I've been living in Japan the past 5 years. So I'm really going to try and focus this on what I've seen in Japan and Japanese classrooms and how it affects English language use by Japanese people. Um, it comes from the 18th, 19th century, mainly used for Latin and Greek. My dad took Latin in high school because he wanted to be a lawyer. For lawyers and doctors, having that base knowledge of vocabulary is going to be helpful in understanding, the really complex language used. He went into marketing, so he told me that he wished he would have studied Spanish. It's designed for reading comprehension, literary appreciation, not so much communication. Um, Grammar first, fluency later, maybe. Philosophy behind it. Really kind of a sage on the stage lecture format. Teacher up here, here's the vocabulary, here's the text, copy it, take notes, remember it. You'll be tested on it later. Okay. Language is really treated as a set of rules, not so much for a tool of communication. Another catchphrase down here: translate, memorize, repeat, but can you speak? How does it work? It really emphasizes written language, grammar rules, and translation exercises. Heavily focuses on grammar rules and vocabulary memorization. Okay. List of vocabulary in Japanese, list of vocabulary in English, and translate them directly. Same thing with sentences. Take the Japanese sentence, and now let's literally translate it into English and back and forth. Often taught in the student's native language. So in Japan, it's taught by Japanese teachers who do a great job. They're doing their best, but they're also teaching English words using kind of a katakana, which is a Japanese alphabet, which really has a pretty heavy impact on pronunciation. Memorizing scenarios and common questions and answers. So if you memorize these scenarios, you're going to be fine using it in English. But the problem with English is when you go to America, the cashier could say 1,000 different things to you. Whereas in Japan, cashier is going to say literally only 3 things to you. How many payments do you want a bag? I think that's only 2 things. Drills, 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 lecture, lecture, lecture. Getting the grammar right, but missing the conversation. You're going to see 3 things in Japan on trains for the most part. The first one is people sleeping, even standing up. I can even do it. I got pretty proud of myself first time. And the second thing is people on their phones. And the third thing is you will see people memorizing vocabulary, grammar translation in action. Book, Japanese words, English words in red. You use the red plastic film and you put that over the English words. So you read the word, okay, buy it, Shizuka, look down, and you can check to see if you got the word right. This is used for really everything though, not just language memorization. Okay, criticisms. Grammar translation method. It doesn't prepare people for real life communication. It can be demotivating, very boring because there's not a lot of interaction going on. When you walk through classrooms in university or high school in Japan, it's lecture format. You see a lot of sleeping. You might too. It doesn't reflect on how people actually acquire a language. It's really teacher-centered, sage on the stage, not really centered on the learner. Okay, some benefits. It's not all bad news. It helps with writing structure, reading comprehension, grammar accuracy, and vocabulary memorization. Okay, especially useful in test-focused environments. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and China. In Japan, especially, if you want to go into a good elementary school, you have to take a standardized test. If you want to go into a good junior high school, university, it's all standardized tests. And the grammar translation method is a great way of preparing people to learn that base knowledge of vocabulary. It's also easy for teachers to teach. Boom, there you go. Take notes. Where it's used today, often in Japan, China, and South Korea. Um, 60% of English class time in Japan still focuses on grammar and translation. Don't take my word for it. Listen to some Japanese students talk about their opinion. Okay, benefits. Easy to learn vocabulary for beginners. It's a good first step for learning. Okay, some negatives. It's not natural. Okay, so it takes too long as well because you're literally directly translation word for word, sentence for sentence. Okay. Living in Japan, some of my reflections on the grammar translation method. I've seen students and people who struggle with speaking, terrified to speak, even after learning English for 6 years. Junior high school, it's required, often in elementary school, and always the first year of university as well. Many people are skilled at translating and reading, but lack confidence in real speaking. Teachers are pressured to focus on test content. Even in some classes that I had to teach at a high school level in Japan, I had to prepare them for the test, prepare them to listen to audio, and then they have to pick out the correct vocabulary to match it. English is everywhere, but it is read and spoken in the native language. For example, the word here, milk versus miruku. Miruku is the katakana version of milk. So if I ask for milk in my coffee, I don't know what to say. It's easier for me just to point because people can read milk. But if I say it in English or if I say it in Japanese, everybody gets confused. My Japanese friend versus my American buddy in vocabulary knowledge. For kicks one night, my friend was visiting, and my Japanese friend had that same book I showed you before, and we had a game trying to guess the meaning of complicated vocabulary. And my Japanese friend crushed my American buddy because he's very good at memorizing words. So once again, it's great for learning vocabulary. Um, how it translates into U.S. language centers. Japanese students are going to be very comfortable with reading and with writing. So pairing them with folks from other countries who are more dominant with verbal, they can be a great match together, building on each other's strengths. Okay, takeaways. It's been a huge part of history. It's common in places like Japan and South Korea. As teachers, we can respect the foundation that it gives. But my quote here down at the bottom, my moral of the story is it's not about throwing away the grammar translation method, but it's more about using it as a bridge into further knowledge and actual use. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. I'm really enjoying your videos. Living in another country, these threads in the communication I have with you guys is usually the best conversation I have all day. So I really enjoy it. I appreciate all of you. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.